Hello, and welcome back for more of my tips and tricks for a virtual site experience. On this segment, let's talk about pre-recording a site visit. This can be an excellent way to showcase your hotel or the destination by customizing the footage and final product to your client's needs, all while being able to control the environment of where you're filming and using editing to create a truly valuable and unique site experience. Create a full site visit video. Now, there are two ways that I utilize the pre-recorded footage for a virtual site experience. The first is for a full site visit filmed from the perspective of the client, capturing everything from the arrival experience at the hotel to the meeting space and other areas of the property, even adding in San Diego and local neighborhood information. Then, I piece all the footage together, edit it, and send the client one link, either through YouTube or Dropbox, to access their fully customized San Diego site experience video. Create a clip for a live virtual site. The second way I use pre-recorded footage is as an enhancement for a live virtual site, by sharing specific clips with the client at opportune times during the site visit. This is a great tool in several ways. For destination information, by getting outside the four walls of your hotel and creating a brief video of the surrounding neighborhoods, things to do and places to go. This is a really fun and effective tool to help paint the picture for the client of what their attendees' overall experience will be at your hotel and in San Diego. Or to showcase parts of the property that won't be accessible during the time of the live virtual site. During COVID, this has been helpful to showcase on-property spas and restaurants that have been closed during this time. Or for messages from team members. You as a hotel sales manager or your leadership team are not available at the time of the site. If you create a personalized message that can be played during the site visit, that's a touch that the client's really going to appreciate. Whether I'm filming and creating a full virtual site video or just a clip to enhance the live virtual site, there are a few things that I always have and do, starting off with having the right tools. You really want to make sure that you have the right tools for filming and editing. It can make a world of difference. Starting off with my camera. I use my iPhone 11. It has exceptional filming capabilities and a built-in stabilizer. I then have this handheld device with a microphone attached that helps to pick up the speaker's voice while eliminating some of the background noise. If you don't have a stabilizer in your phone, look into maybe getting a gimbal. You also want to make sure that you're very familiar with your video editing software. I started off using Microsoft's video editor and then switched over to Mac's iMovie. Both are very capable platforms. One of the best things I did, though, was watch one of the many YouTube tutorials on how to use this editing software, and it was a life and time saver. Prepare for filming. Preparing to film is similar in many ways to preparing for a live virtual site. Having that conversation with the client so you know exactly what will be of value to film, creating a script or talking points to ensure that you hit all of those important factors, then carrying a checklist and marking them off as you go. Create a flow for how you will film and how you will edit the footage together. This will help you know how to start and end a scene to connect it beautifully to the next scene. You want to prepare the property and all the spaces you plan to showcase. Make sure everything is clean and camera ready because now it'll be on film. And you want to be aware of the elements. Try to film on a sunny day and with minimal wind because that can create some pesky background noise. Also, try to film where there is minimal foot traffic, especially if you're going out into the neighborhoods. For example, I love to share footage of Little Italy for clients, but I know to only film in the mornings because by the afternoon, it's bustling with people and with cars, and it's hard to get footage without background noise or without surprise visitors who think you're part of a news crew and want to join you on camera. It's time to film. Now you're ready to start filming. Remember to speak clear, slow, and loud without yelling. Move the camera and yourself slow and steady. Stay stationary and pan as much as possible. At the beginning of each scene, announce where you are, and at the end of each scene, announce where you're going next. This will help the client be prepared for the next scene, follow along, and will help you when editing the footage together. Show or describe the flow and connectivity of each of the meeting spaces and other areas of the property. Then after each take, check for volume, background noise, and lighting. Make sure that the footage is clear and stable. We don't want the client to get motion sick. Also, check to make sure what you're saying is relevant and not rambling, because we all have a habit of doing that sometimes when we're in front of the camera. And let's remember that this is your footage. You can take as many takes as you want. If you don't love it, do it again, because it's worth getting right. Now here are just a few extra little tricks that I like to use when I'm filming. For transition pieces between scenes, once you start filming, wait about 3 seconds before you start to speak. Then once you're done speaking, wait about 3 seconds before you cut that film. This will really help when you're editing those pieces together. Another nice touch is once you start to film, then pan in on the person speaking. Once they're done speaking, pan away. This creates a nice effect and again very helpful when you're trying to edit those pieces together. Now for monologues, we all have those times when we have something very profound and important and valuable to say, but we can't seem to get through all the words. We stumble, get frustrated, and then take take after take. Well, here's a little trick that I like to use that I find especially useful when I'm out in the neighborhoods trying to get footage. Enjoy. We're now in one of my favorite parts of San Diego, just footsteps out of downtown in Balboa Park, our 1,200-acre urban cultural park. I've now forgotten the rest of my thought, but that's okay. So instead of getting frustrated and yelling cut, I'm going to finish my thought, wait for 3 seconds, then cut. We'll adjust the camera and pick up the scene. Once you start rolling the camera again, wait for just about 2 seconds, then start to speak once you face the camera again. You can pick up your thought and end the scene. Now let's redo this and create one full scene. Please notice how we pan the camera in at the introduction. You can even add in music, B-roll, and photos for extra fun effect. And then towards the end of the scene, we'll stay in one spot and pan the camera to capture the rest of the space. We're also going to change locations to minimize the background noise you may have picked up on in this last scene. We're now in one of my favorite parts of San Diego. Just footsteps out of downtown is Balboa Park, our 1,200-acre urban cultural park. With 17 museums, gardens, theaters, unique eateries, and home to the world-famous San Diego Zoo, your attendees will have endless activities to enjoy here in San Diego in Balboa Park. Create those memorable moments. When you want to film one of those key moments and make it memorable, be strategic. Think about where you're going to film. Find a place that's really unique to your property, an area that's quiet, and avoid any undesirable spots like next to a trash can or an ashtray. One of the most memorable parts of a virtual site is the conclusion. So if you're a property that sits on a marina, why don't you conclude on a boat or next to the water? If you're a property that has beautiful views, conclude in a penthouse or on a terrace. Find a fun way to finish this virtual site. Now with your conclusion, you want to keep it brief, but still recap all of those highlights. And make sure that that client knows that you're not just excited for it, but you want this opportunity. Video editing. Like I mentioned earlier, watching a YouTube tutorial on how to get the most out of your video editing software isn't just helpful, it's going to bring your video to the next level. Some things to think about when you are editing. Those transition pieces. How to transition between the scenes nicely. You can add in a hero shot of the property or maybe other professional photos. You could add in B-roll with voiceover. Maybe even add in text to introduce each of the meeting spaces. You can even add in music for a nice effect. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with basic editing software for your virtual site. But most importantly, the video needs to flow well and make sense to the client. Now with that said, my next video will be on how to enhance your virtual site, whether that's pre-recorded or live. So until then, thank you and good luck filming.